Hi, everyone. Thank you once again for joining the first maiden edition of dbt Meetup here in Nigeria. I'm really super excited about this. Just a little bit introduction about myself. Just also give you some context regarding how I got to discover dbt, as well as what my role will be for this event. I currently work as a senior data lead at Data Culture in New York. And what we basically do is we help support organizations in their data maturity. We realized that for any organization to become data-driven, it's actually a journey, and that's basically what we do for our clients. Irrespective of their data maturity, data state, we help them move from their current state to where they are. So we do services from engineering services to data strategy. I worked at CarryWise, which is one of the leading fintech here in Nigeria, and I also do a little bit of consulting with Deloitte. So just to give you some brain on how I got to discover dbt, while I was at my previous organization, I needed to build a data stack ground up. I actually did a lot of research on how do I go about doing all of this thing? What do I need to do? A couple of people I reached out to, like, have you heard about dbt? I think it's going to help you to do what you want to do. I'm like, oh, I've never heard about dbt. And I joined the dbt community, and I would say that's one of the best decisions I think I made this year. I had access to global community. So literally, I had people that could assist me with stuff. I literally could ask any question. I mean, any question, no matter how stupid it may seem. Trust me, somebody in the community will respond to your question. So I reached out to Anna. I'm like, I want to drive dbt Meetup in Nigeria. I want people to be aware of what dbt can do, how amazing dbt is as a tool. So that's basically how I got to discover dbt. We have an amazing session. We got to understand what is the burning topic currently, what is modern data stack, who is analytics engineer, some of those fanciful stuff, and how you can access remote job as an engineer. I know many of us want to hear those kind of topics, right? So trust me, you are actually here for an amazing time.
What a fantastic introduction. I'm so excited to be here speaking with you. I just need to tell you all, I was at the very first dbt Meetup ever, I think back in 2017 in New York City. There were about 30 people there. Seeing 100 of us on this call is very, very, very exciting to me. And I can't believe the turnout. And I'm just honored to be with you here today. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you very much, Drew. I'm actually very excited. I'm sure every other person on this call is actually excited to have you. What do you think is the future of analytics engineering from your experience?
What a great question. It's been very interesting to see dbt and analytics engineering evolve over the past 5 years. I can tell you 5, 4, maybe even 3 years ago, we were worried, is this just a wave that's gonna crash and sort of dissipate? But the more time passes, the more we see people joining this kind of community and doing this kind of work. And the more I believe that this is kind of the future of how data work is done. I think broadly, analytics engineering is about empowerment. It's about helping the people that have all the right context about the business and the meaning of the data, and also all those tools to go and manipulate and reshape and judge the quality of that data. That can be the same person and they can do it all themselves. And that's a really powerful thing, I think.
The next follow-up question is, what are the tips and actions that you think organizations can bring dbt to their company? What are the action items on how organizations can bring dbt to their company?
One of the cool things I've seen over the past few years is that I've spoken to a lot of different companies, either trying to adopt data warehouses or dbt or the modern data stack, whether it was a very small company with 20 people and one analyst or a very large company with hundreds and hundreds of data analysts. They all had the same kinds of problems. They had a lot of data. They didn't exactly know what to do with it. Nobody trusted it. It was hard to actually make use of it. And what I would say to all of you is I would focus on the problems. I would try to point out, where you have data that you're sort of not able to use today, or where you're not able to get data sets that are kind of blocking your ability to make good decisions. I'd really try to frame it in terms of those problems and then understand the ways in which dbt could help you. It could be the modeling, it could be the testing, it could be the documentation, it could even just be participating in this community of people, kind of learning from them and so on and so forth. But I would focus on the problems, and then hopefully dbt can help you.
All right, thank you, Drew. So just a follow-up to that question is, how do you think organizations can structure their data infrastructure to get the most from dbt? Because definitely some organizations might probably move from the legacy system to now starting to leverage on the modern data stack. How do you think they can structure their data infrastructure to be able to get the best out of dbt?
There's no one perfect data architecture. It depends on the company experience, the problems you want to solve. I would really think hard about what problems must be solved up front So for instance, we've grown a lot at dbt Labs. I think that 2 years ago, there were 20 of us. Today, there's closer to 150. Our data architecture has evolved over that time as we've brought in more people with more experience or expertise or kind of an ability to administrate this data architecture. So the example I point to is, people always want real-time data, but if you don't have a sort of data team or function that could maintain real-time streaming infrastructure, then now's probably not the right time, So really the tools are great, whether it's data loading or data warehousing or BI and analytics, all these tools are great. They work really well together. I would focus on, if you care more about kind of data science and exploration, if you care more about self-service analytics and kind of dashboarding and reporting, I think a lot about how fresh your data needs to be. It needs to be up to the minute, or if 12 hours or 24 hours out of data is okay. And I think that if you can figure those things out, then you can assemble the right data architecture for your team today. And it can always evolve in the future as the business challenges you're trying to solve change.
That's actually very, very, very valid. So just to wrap up, any advice or recommendation you probably give to someone that wants to just get started? Or what are the lessons that you probably wish you knew when you got started with dbt?
Yeah, there's a lot I wish I knew back then. It's been a humbling 5 years. About dbt, though, in particular, I would say that it's important to build good habits early. Things like testing and documentation and code review. It can be easy in the early days of a project to just want to create a bunch of models, get them out there in production and start reporting on it. But if you build those really good habits early, that'll scale with you as you grow. And your future self will absolutely thank you for building that foundation.
Thank you very much. And the last question for you before we go, why is dbt? Is there any reason?
Yeah, it's a great question. There were things I wish I did differently 5 years ago. The actual name dbt was inspired by a different data tool called Scala Build Tool. That was SBT, and that was stylized as all lowercase. And it's sort of in the same category as tools like Git or a lot of these command line functions like grep cat, if you've ever seen any of those, etc. And so they're all just lowercase. dbt started as a command line application. You would type dbt run. And so having it be very short, all lowercase, made it super easy to type, press enter. But yeah, we definitely spend a lot of time asking people to lowercase it these days.
Yeah, that's very good to know. So thank you very much, Drew. It was really exciting having you join us. I'm so pumped. I'm very excited to have you. Thank you.
It was a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for having me. I'm going to stick around and I'm really looking forward to seeing all the talks.